Hello humans, what's up everybody? It's just Brann and welcome to my show Hear Me Out, because I want you guys to hear me out. I'm trying to save the world, okay, and I want you to help me save the world with these 3 things that I want to go over today, which is AI, basic income, and getting rid of climate change, believe it or not, which is pretty much overall meaning we need to go green within the next few years, but we'll get into that later. For right now, I just want to talk about what the show is about. It's just about getting things off my chest, or just simply talking about things that I'm passionate about. And sometimes I'll have people come in for interviews and talk about their music or their craft or whatever book they're writing or whatever it might be. But if you don't like this type of content, I also have music that you can check out on this channel as well. I'm going to turn it up real quick, okay? You gotta promote a little bit. Plus, I need a drink of water real quick. I've been talking. Stay drinking water, okay, guys? Be healthy. But today we have some slaps, some virtual slapping to do, okay? Yeah, there it goes, okay. I'm virtually slapping you if you do not believe in the concept of climate change. Okay, let's just kind of talk about that first. Okay, climate change. If you don't believe in it, then, I mean, it's just as dumb as saying coronavirus is a conspiracy or a hoax or whatever, man. Just shut up and just accept the facts. You know, our world is getting hotter. The pollution, the dumb shit that we put into the world is screwing it up. And we have to do something now, or within the next 10 to 15 years, we are going to be screwed. So, you know, we really got to implement these go green policies that some people like Howie Hawkins presents. You know, Howie Hawkins is a co-founder of the Green Party of the United States. And he's also a party's presidential nominee in 2020. You know, in the presidential election. So please vote for Hawkins. You know, I mean, he's really looking out for the world. The government is in denial of this. You know, it's science denial. These scientists do this on a day-to-day basis. They know what they're talking about. You know, half the time the government doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. At least half the time. So acknowledging climate change and that it is a real thing and that we need to start working on doing things to prevent putting so much bull crap into this world. You know, it's sickening, really, man, because I want my daughter to grow old without having to worry about, you know, wildfires breaking out during the summers like crazy, having to stay indoors or moving to another, you know, it's getting out of hand, you know, and you can definitely see the changes. So it's like, come on, you know, stop being in denial. If you live in Florida, you can definitely tell, okay? But apparently I thought that I came up with this brilliant genius idea that I guess someone's already thought of, which is the artificial rain clouds. And it's kind of like a bandage on the cut. You know, it's not a permanent fix. It's just like a temporary thing to literally shade our surface areas and our land masses. And they're kind of trying to work on getting them to actually rain water to prevent our surfaces from being so dry, which is what creates all these wildfires that are happening all over the world, you know. But yeah, I thought that I came up with that idea. I was like, our artificial rain clouds, and then my roommate looks it up, and it's already into the works, which is a good thing, you know. It's just they haven't made it to where it's completely like doable right now, but that's in the works. And that's like a Band-Aid, like I said, like, so that would just be a temporary fix for when we do start implementing the more long-term changes that we need to do, like, you know, our fossil fuels and all that, you know, oil use. Like once we convert from that to solar power, that's when our world's going to be really changing for the better, and then eliminating a lot of the exhaust from cars and just everything that we create with, you know. So before we move on to the next topic, I just want to give one more virtual slap in the face. Okay, I really needed to do that. So if you don't believe, you're watching this video, you're still listening at this point, like, please just embrace this real quick. And yeah, hopefully you've changed your perspective, you know, because it's a thing. You know, sometimes we need different people from different backgrounds and walks of life to tell us, you know. So moving on to AI and basic income. So AI is artificial intelligence, in case you didn't know. And yeah, I just feel like it's going to be a crucial aspect for whenever basic income reaches the surface of reality, whenever that'll be. You know, eventually the government has to come to their senses and realize that there just isn't enough jobs for the amount of people that exist in this world. You know, you're always going to have the jobs that, you know, you can go to school for and gain a lot of knowledge to get a higher paying job, yes, but like certain jobs that fill up a lot of our society, labor jobs that people are in and out of because they're just not that well paying, or they're just literally gonna be dying at eventually because they just can't. It's a dead end job. Everybody knows what that is. You know, the typical fast food worker, the janitor working for crumbs at the school or whatever, man, that somebody has to do. You know, and you got every age bracket who are still looking for jobs. So with the amount of people who need jobs compared to the amount of jobs that we have, it's just like you're just purposely putting people in poverty when you can definitely figure out ways to, at least if you're going to be poor and you're just living off of government assistance, which would be the basic income concept that I explained in the first video, then that's what needs to happen, because like poverty equals, I said it in the last video, it equals crime. Like when the poverty level is up, the crime level goes up. People are poor, people are pissed off, and you cannot blame them, you know? And let's think about it. Say there's basic income. Now, people who own real estate won't have to worry about late rent payments or you know, the main motive is it's going back into the economy. You know, the stocks market will be great. It'll be booming. You know, people will just literally have money to spend to put back in the system. You know, and if this money is coming from companies in the S&P 500 who are just massive companies who make billions of dollars every year, and they're able to write that off as a tax cut, you know, that's helping that business out, but you're also helping your community out by literally nobody being in poverty. If everybody over a certain age is able to receive $1,000 to $2,000 a month, imagine how much of a difference that would make. You know, so even if you're just strictly depending on that, okay, well, at least you're not living on the street, you know, and if you have two people in the same house, like that's a pretty good income, you know. Then you got to worry about people getting lazy, right, but if you make the the age limit a higher age, like 25 to 30 or something, it makes people at least, okay, I have 5 to 6 years to have to work some of these dead end jobs to be eligible for this stuff. I'm not going to go to college and get a good paying job that, you know, needs a brain. Then okay, then that's what I'm going to settle for. But at least nobody's just struggling. You're not just sitting there in that job for being a slave to it for 40 plus years. You know, you had to do your work for a few years, yeah, but then after that. So this is where eventually AI would kick in after this. You know, AI would eventually do these type of slum jobs that nobody wants to do. And think about it, we get better customer service. You know, businesses would profit more from not having to pay employees by just paying for these robots. And we are literally at the age to where this is more of a possibility. You know, you can look up a video on YouTube or a few of them of how, you know, how far along they've gotten with AI. Like, I'm a CNC programmer. I program CNC machines, meaning I can control this robot to literally make my parts for me with just some coding, with M coding and G coding. Now that's different coding when it comes to AI. I don't know anything about that, but I know we're at the level to where we could literally replace all these grunt jobs that people just do not want to do, and literally just give everyone a basic income. So even if you are still working a job that a robot can't work, such as like a nurse or something that takes a lot more brain power for a robot to do, instead of just like flipping patties or unloading boxes, putting something together, like some jobs will just have to remain human jobs, but those jobs will be getting paid a lot more because of it, making it worth, okay, that person's still going and doing that, along with getting basic income on top of that. So people who still work, yeah, they're working with their brain, they're not working with their body half the time, so it's worth it. You're going into work, you actually like what you do, and you're also getting that basic income on top of it to put back towards your savings, giving you an earlier retirement. Because that's what we all strive for, right? Who the hell wants to retire when they're 65? Like, why is that the age limit? That's the American dream, really? Like, I don't understand that. Like, there's things to implement to create a way better world, a way earlier retirement age, and just a more peaceful world. When people are in poverty, that brings more crime. It's just the way it is. So if you at least got people that's not starving and having to, do sketchy shit just to come up with their kids' lunch money and food and school clothes and shit like that, like that's just what it is, So let's say we implement these 3 things. AI, which eventually would just kind of just do all the crappy jobs that nobody wants to do and nobody wants to retire at and just be a slave at forever. Basic income, which would pretty much bring up everybody up out of poverty, canceling crime, at least as much crime. And then climate change, addressing climate change and going ahead and working on that. That is the ideal world that we need to live in, while still living in a capitalist world, okay? I mean, you don't have to take that out of the equation. Just applying these 3 things to the world within the next 4 to 5 years, which needs to happen, or else our world and society is going to be living in chaos. And I would rather my beautiful little daughter to not have to grow up in a chaotic world. So that's kind of the point of all these videos that I'm kind of dropping on this stuff, and I'm going to drop more, So if you like this content, guys, please like and subscribe to the channel. Share this video to, spread the word about what I'm trying to spread the word about. And if you don't like this type of content, maybe check out the music. My music is full of stories and just messages, that I like to put in music form rather than me talking form. So yeah, guys, have a good day and keep being human.